This video is sponsored by HelloFresh. More on that later. Hi, happy Monday. The man of the hour, the belle of the ball. At this point, most of you have probably heard of Andrew Tate because of his long and illustrious boxing career and literally nothing else. No, it's actually probably because he's famous for being a horrible person. Maybe you've seen this clip of him.
There's no way I would allow you to go on all these girls' holidays. That's very disrespectful. I'm a territorial man. That does not mean jealous or insecure. It means I care about you. Anything I care about, I want to protect and love. Doesn't matter if no man on earth could talk you into bed. It's not about that. It's about the disrespect.
Or maybe you heard about his MLM scheme that is disguised as an online course for hustlers. Last time when I talked about Andrew Tate for the first time, his YouTube channel Tate Speech had a little over 60,000 subscribers. Now, less than a year later, he has surpassed 600,000 subscribers on YouTube. His massive gain in followers and a few little itty-bitty controversies has really grabbed me and made me want to dive deeper into this guy. So today I'm going to be talking about Andrew Tate again, addressing his internet success and explaining why it's so dangerous for him and other people like him to exist online and be platformed. I'm going to be debunking some of his more arguable claims, explaining how he negatively contributes to incel culture, and also discuss his other offenses as an abuser and possible human trafficker. I also want to touch on whether or not Andrew Tate is playing a caricature of himself or if he actually believes everything he says. And finally, as promised, folks, we get to dunk on a bald man.
I've been on boats in Dubai with 19-year-old Moldovan girls. If you're the kind of person who feels like they need therapy, you're useless. Never say go into bed. Going to bed is emasculating. Cowards.
So first off, I want to give some background on Andrew Tate for people who don't know exactly who he is. Andrew Tate is an American-British kickboxer, even though his accent is really weird. It feels more transatlantic. And Andrew Tate would not be happy with that term to describe his accent. He gained initial popularity as a world champion in kickboxing, and honestly, I think he probably should have just stayed there. He transitioned to sports commentary, and then he started gaining popularity online for his controversial takes. But we're going to get to that one in a second. He claims to have made his first million when he was 27, and now at 35, his self-reported net worth is $250 million. But given the validity of his other arguments, I would probably take that with a grain of salt, especially because Andrew Tate also claimed to be the world's first trillionaire. You're gonna see a common theme throughout this video where Tate just sort of says whatever he wants, and even though he faces repercussions, like occasionally, his audience has always stood by him. So let's start off with a brief timeline of Andrew Tate's biggest offenses. Before we continue, I have to issue a huge content warning for what you're about to hear. We're going to be touching on sexual assault, misogyny, sex crimes, and knowing Andrew Tate probably a lot more. Okay, so let's start in 2016 when he was on the reality television show Big Brother UK, and he was evicted from the Big Brother UK house when a video from 2012 surfaced of him beating a woman with a belt, calling her a whore, and telling her to count her bruises. In the video, he hits the woman repeatedly for not listening to him, and he rebutted the abuse claims, saying that they were laughing the entire time, which is entirely false. The woman doesn't laugh once. Instead, she cries upon being struck by Tate. And if that wasn't enough, in 2017, he was banned from Twitter after defending Harvey Weinstein and criticizing the hashtag #MeToo movement. He says, in quotes, "If you put yourself in a position to be you must bear some responsibility." Since being banned, he has been able to create 3 other accounts on Twitter, one of which was verified, and all of these accounts are currently banned as well.
I was getting on a plane, and I could see through the cockpit that a female was a pilot, and I took a picture and I said, "Most women I know can't even park a car. Why is a woman flying my plane?" And they banned me.
Okay. Later on, Tate moved to Romania with his brother Tristan in order to escape the 11 charges that UK law enforcement had against him. He said that 40% of the reason he moved to Romania was because the hashtag #MeToo movement wasn't as strong there and it was easier to get off charges. He said, "I am not a rapist, but I like the idea of just being able to do what I want." Andrew, I have a little bit of a tip for you. If you're going to start off a sentence with "I'm not a rapist" and follow it up with the word "but," then you might just want to scrap that sentence entirely. It sounds to me like if he had charges that he was trying to flee from, then those charges probably held water in some capacity. So let's fast forward to last year, March 2022, Andrew and Tristan made millions of pounds from an online business where they used webcam models to scam men out of money. I find this particularly funny because Andrew Tate looks like one of the guys that he would probably target to get scammed. If you haven't noticed yet, Andrew Tate looks like an uncanny valley pit bull. He seems like the kind of guy that would just be on like a super stereotypical pirate ship. And he's one of those pirates that has like a lot of diseases. Like he's really fucked up. Anyways, I digress. So the Tate brothers admitted to scamming these men, but Andrew said he didn't feel remorse because no one cares. But on another side note, I kind of feel like Andrew Tate is some sort of communist king. He redistributes wealth through his MLM, even though that money just works its way back to him. He moved to a country with universal health care, and he actually said this.
Capitalism requires depression. The reason most you fuckers are sad is because you live in a world designed to make you sad. I don't believe it's a coincidence that certain things in the Western world happen. And I also don't believe it's a coincidence that depression is rife in the richest countries, because depression is a key element to the capitalistic system. It's a cog in the machine that keeps us doing fucking shit we don't want to do, aiming to get happy through money, which isn't going to happen.
I think he's just scared of losing his audience, so he's dropping us little breadcrumbs here and there. Don't worry, Andrew. Your secret's safe with us. Anyways, just a month after the scamming incident, Andrew's house was raided in a human trafficking incident, which honestly I just feel like is a little bit unfair. Like, he put in a lot of time to move to Romania, where he could be an abuser and a rapist in peace. And now we're just gonna raid his house because he might be holding people there against their will. Come on, get real. When addressing the allegations on his podcast, Tate said, "A girl had been at my house, and her boyfriend saw her Instagram stories. The girl said to her boyfriend that she didn't want to come to the party and we wouldn't let her leave, which is some bullshit excuse. So her boyfriend is obviously one of these believe all females. She was a hoe, she wasn't even hot, she was ugly. He then calls the fucking police and said, my girlfriend is being held against her will by the Tate brothers. The police call the American embassy, and the next day the police come to our house." So beyond abusing and taking advantage of women and looking like the meathead employee at Zara who just wears a vest with no shirt underneath and can't fold a pair of pants to save his life, what could he possibly be doing? Well, I'm glad you asked.
I'm extremely proud of what I've built. What we've built, Tristan, you and I are gonna basically conquer Earth. Yeah.
Hustlers University is a bright and refreshing look at private education. Sure, you may have heard of our founder Andrew Tate,
Bitch, bring some paper towels! We're doing a f***ing podcast!
but the community and lessons we teach here at HU is unique. It is new. It is groundbreaking. I actually graduated from a private university. I spent $160,000 to learn about communications and marketing. What I didn't learn during those 4 years is that women desire attention. And as men, we should weaponize that. Because where would society be without men? We deserve it. Once the Hustlers University staff told me that, I actually dedicated the rest of my life to teaching these lessons to kids who really need it. Hustlers University, welcome home. As long as you're a man. Let's check out the famous Hustlers University, Andrew Tate's most popular online course. So right away, when I get to his website, cobratate.com, there's a lot going on. First of all, the logo is terrible. I don't know who chose that font for him or if he just stole it from a Michael's Live, Laugh, Love sign. The logo in itself is confusing because as far as I know, Andrew Tate isn't a chess aficionado, nor do I think he has the brain cells to process and understand how to play the game. But I've never played a game of chess either, Andrew, so I guess we're not as different as we thought. Let's kiss each other. So the website has tabs for the different programs he offers, and from what I can gather, there are a lot of them. The most popular ones seem to be Hustlers University 2.0, the War Room, and the PhD program he runs. They all have seemingly 5 stars on his website, but when you actually click on them, no reviews show up. However, off his website, you can find testimonials for all 3, and it's like random Discord screenshots and like Twitter DMs that he decided to throw on his website as proof that he's like doing a great job as an instructor. It's insane just how many out of context screenshots he has of people just being like, yeah, the course is good, I'm making a lot of money. But I'm sure that's how they do it at real universities, right? Why get a video of someone doing a testimonial of your class when you can just screenshot a DM of them going, yeah, that's pretty good, and then put it up there for free? So Hustlers University seems to be the most popular option, and it seems to be the cheapest too. For just $50 a month, I can learn how to make money. It even says here on the website, clear as day. Can you make money today? No job, but still money arriving into your bank account. Yes or no? Yes, that sounds good to me, Andrew. I'll give you $600 a year. Let's do this thing. Now, I don't know about you. Maybe I'm wrong, but if I was down on my luck out of cash, I probably wouldn't spend $50 a month to get access to a Discord server, which is essentially what Hustlers University is. Hey, but maybe I'm alone in that sentiment, because as of July 2022, Andrew Tate has a self-reported 80,000 members of Hustlers University 2.0. Now that is $4 million per month in revenue. Putting this into perspective, 80,000 people is 10,000 people more than the largest college campus in the US. Now again, like his net worth, I really don't know how accurate that is, but it can also be dangerous for us to assume that it's not. So we're gonna dive in and see what all the hype is about. I also want to make it clear that I did not give Andrew Tate my money for this course. We're gonna be using videos of user reviews to take a look at Hustlers University and what other people thought of it. But we have to be careful with this, because a lot of the reviews for this course are made by people with affiliate links, meaning that they're gonna get a cut if their viewers sign up using the link in their description. So it seems like when you initially get into the Discord server, you can choose which course you want to take. Some of the options include crypto analysis, freelancing, flipping, e-commerce, which is drop shipping, and stock analysis. Basically, you're just paying to take financial advice from one of Andrew Tate's soldiers. And yes, that is what he calls them. In this review for the crypto course, a YouTuber named Money Unit shows us the Discord server and compares it to what he knows about crypto. Obviously, I have my own opinions on crypto, but according to Money Unit, Andrew Tate's soldier does not teach risk management at all in this course. They basically just tell you to go all in every single time with crypto. And this is kind of the general consensus of every review I've seen, besides the guys getting paid to tell you that the course is awesome and that it's totally worth it, and they have the Hustlers University site listed in their bio, and they try to sell it to people. Even Andrew Tate stans, or Cobranators, or tater tots, or whatever you want to call them, consistently say that Hustlers University is pretty mid, and it doesn't give substantial financial advice. Whoa, that's just so crazy. A guy who has been caught scamming people and lying and says whatever he wants all the time is running a get-rich-quick Ponzi scheme where he scams average people out of their money? Wow, this is crazy. But let's backtrack for a second. Who are these people that are getting paid through affiliate links, and why does it seem like Andrew Tate has an endless supply of foot soldiers who are constantly pushing his programs online? Especially recently, a lot of people on TikTok have been complaining about the sheer number of Andrew Tate accounts that have been showing up on their feed, along with the absurd number of views that they get. Now, in order to get the word out about Hustlers University, Andrew Tate will apparently pay a commission of about 10% or $5 if one of his little hustlers can get a new customer to sign up for the course. The way a lot of people do this is by being encouraged to create Andrew Tate fan pages online, posting clips of him epically dunking on women, and then including an affiliate link in their description or bio, encouraging people to come join the course. Now, this is one of the reasons that I and many other people believe that Andrew Tate's audience has grown so quickly. With an MLM like tenacity, we have seen hundreds and hundreds of Andrew Tate fan accounts on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, you name it, with the intention of pushing an affiliate link to get their quick $5. Especially with the audience of 80,000 paying people dialed into the idea that you need to hustle and you need to grind to make money, this affiliate link tactic is just a cheap marketing ploy to get his pseudo cult members to do his dirty work for him. So obviously Hustlers University is fucked up, and he's clearly exploiting his fans. But don't worry, because his other courses are much worse.
I do that because people who resonate with my mindset, people who agree with me on the things I say, I want them to be rich. I'm not a philanthropist.
Okay, so there's not a lot of info on his PhD program. In fact, there's literally nothing on the page. It's just a few photos of him with women and a price tag for a whopping 337 pounds that you can only pay for using crypto, of course. But I did some digging, and I found out that Andrew Tate's PhD program stands for Pimping Hose Degree. God, he is a 14-year-old boy. Now, this is a course where Andrew teaches you all of his rules for getting women to fall madly in love with you and to respond to your every beck and call. I read a blog post review on the course, and for just over $400, you get to unlock an endless chasm of information on how to respectfully and kindly talk to women. Now, if by endless chasm of information you mean 2 videos that total about 2 hours, and if by respectfully and kindly talk to women you mean objectify and degrade them until they are no longer human beings, then you would have Andrew Tate's amazing PhD course. Originally, the course was literally just one video at 1 hour and 45 minutes, but apparently it was so rambling and convoluted that he added on another half-hour video answering questions that people had from the first video that he put out. Essentially, what's happening here is that people are paying the price of a PS5 to watch the world's worst movie. You could have a PS5, and instead you want to watch 2 videos of a bald man talking about how to degrade women, and you could have a PS5? Now, according to the reviewer, the key concept of the entire course is that men have one weapon: attention. And the whole thing is just about trying to manipulate women to be around you. Now, this course provides you with a set of rules that must be followed at all times. So we're gonna go through this course and we're gonna talk about why it's harmful, as if I actually need to explain why. Stop right there. Let's take a second to talk about the sponsor for today's video, HelloFresh. Guys, I might be amazing at cooking. Everyone may say, Nick, you're amazing at cooking. Keep cooking food for me. But I hate it. I take forever to find the ingredients. I always forget one of them and have to run to the store, and the recipe always takes me like 3 times as long as they say it's going to. That's where my friends at HelloFresh come in and basically save my entire life and reputation. They cut out all that stressful meal planning and prepping so I can just open the box and immediately get to cooking. And it only takes like 30 minutes or even just 20 minutes if you use their quick and easy options. The meals really help me with my work schedule routine, because once I finally get a break from all the gaming I'm doing, I can immediately cook my dinner so I can get back to gaming. And did I mention that these meals are delicious also? I made these citrus pork tacos that quite literally knocked my socks off. I'm sick of all of this old school delivery stuff. I'm with HelloFresh. They're changing the game. Finally, HelloFresh's pre-portioned ingredients means that there's less prep for you and less wasted food. They have a big focus on sustainability, and I think that that's certifiably epic. These tacos I made were easy to prep and even easier to cook, and I loved them in my little tummy. So if you guys want to have the same experience I did, go to HelloFresh.com and use code nickisnotgreen16 for 16 free meals across 7 boxes and 3 gifts. That's code nickisnotgreen16 for 16 free meals across 7 boxes and 3 gifts. Thank you to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video. Let's get back to the fun. Rule number 1. The woman you are pursuing cannot have male friends. I mean, we've gathered that much from the video that went viral on Twitter. The crazy idea of a platonic relationship between a guy and a girl is something that is brought up very often in incel rhetoric. Matter of fact, I've made plenty of videos touching on guys who think that if they have one friendly interaction with a woman, that means it's time to pounce. Obviously, men and women can be friends outside of a romantic relationship. You know, gay people exist after all. But when your entire worldview boils down to, how can I trick this woman or manipulate this woman into being mine? Of course, the idea of a platonic relationship with a woman would not work for you. That way of thinking is obviously very regressive, and as I'm going to get into later, it simply enables incels to commit violence against women and other gender minorities. But let's move on to Andrew Tate's second rule. The goal is always to fuck her. Every move you make should be progressing towards that goal. Again, we see this commodification of women in the same exact way. Now, I don't know how much Andrew Tate actually believes in what he's saying, but whether or not he does believe in it himself, it doesn't matter. Andrew Tate has a platform numerically larger than I do, and his main goal is to spread his rhetoric to his audience, and they're gonna believe whatever he says, even if it's criminal. He is reaching hundreds and thousands of people, and when you spread the message that women are subservient and easy to trick, people are gonna believe you. The reviewer himself even said that if a man is talking to a woman and a woman is unwilling to have sex with him, it's a waste of time and you shouldn't talk to her. Oh, shucks, man. I'm dying here. I've got a terminal illness and I'm dying. Okay, and you must be Mr. Robbins. How are you feeling today? Oh, I'm feeling better now that a female is treating me. Okay, well, I just need to write down your... Would you like to... I don't know, maybe this is stupid. Maybe I'm just dumb. Would you like to go out with me? I'm sorry, sir. I'm just here to get your blood type. Have sex with me. What? Come on, just have sex with me. You don't want to have sex with me? I just don't think this is the conversation we need to be having right now. I'm trying to figure out your blood type so we can see if we can get a transfusion to save your life. You want to have sex with me. Are you trying to do a Jedi mind trick on me to have sex with you? I'm trying to save your life. You actually have hours left to live. If we can't find a blood donor, you're going to die. Wow, nurse lady, you're right. I didn't realize how bad it was. I could have hours left to live, you know? Could be dead any minute now. In a week, I could be 6 feet under. And you refuse to have sex with me? Yeah, okay, I think we're just gonna unplug your life support. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's talk about rule number 3. Don't play fair. since women lie all the time, you are also allowed to lie. Again, Andrew Tate comes in with a generalization of all women, but when it comes down to it, he is exactly the type of guy to have a conniption if a woman says something like, all men are trash. He goes on to give an example about how you can effectively keep a woman on her toes by not telling her the whole truth. He asks you to imagine that you're a barista at Starbucks and you're on a date and the girl you're on a date with asks you what you do. Now, Andrew Tate says that you're supposed to say, well, I was in the upper levels of management, but now I work in the Starbucks store to see how they run and report back to upper management without the employees in the street knowing who I am. Andrew Tate thinks women are so stupid that they're gonna believe you when you tell them that you are a spy at Starbucks. Andrew Tate continuously shows how fundamentally little he thinks of women and how gullible they are to fall for lies and tricks. Also, who cares if you work at Starbucks? I feel like I'm more concerned with the Starbucks employee that just paid $400 in crypto just for a guy to tell them to lie about their job. Rule number 4. Everything you do or say needs to come from a position of dominance. Not only does Tate actively reinforce harmful patriarchal stereotypes about femininity and womanhood, but he also asserts the belief that men must fit a specific mold as well. And that mold would obviously be possessive, violent, and emotionless. Funny enough, these are all qualities that make anybody, no matter what gender, a horrible partner. Now, this is obviously terrible advice, but to my fellas out there, instead of lying to yourself and others, try being open and honest about who you are to a girl that you like. And if they like you back, now, whatever you told them is based in truth and not Andrew Tate's little fantasy land. Are you gonna tell the girl months into your little relationship with them that you were lying about being a spy for Starbucks? But then again, I don't think Andrew is exactly in it for the long haul when it comes to talking to these women. And even if he was in it for the long haul, I think the police would show up and raid his house and save the poor girl from it before he could actually try it out. Because she doesn't wanna be there. And guess what? If you tell the truth and the girl still doesn't like you back, that's okay. Now you've got a friend or an acquaintance instead of dating a girl who thinks that your life is the one you fabricated from a shitty dating course led by a man who doesn't even look that human. I'm sorry, I just can't help but continuously point out just how odd Andrew Tate's face looks. He looks like that toy that you squeeze and the eyes and the stuff come out of it. You know what I'm talking about? The point I want to drive home is that none of this dating stuff is nearly as complex as Andrew Tate makes it out to be, and no one should take advice from a guy who has an aneurysm every time a woman says she doesn't want to have sex with him. And finally, the golden rule, rule number 5 of Andrew Tate's PhD course is: be older than the girl you are pursuing. Gross, Andrew. I don't feel like I need to even make a comment about that. That's gross. Now, besides the other courses on his website, which are kind of just different versions of the same stuff, which is just terrible advice for obscene prices, he also has this really weird free ebook called Tales of Wudan, where Tate claims to have lived over 5,000 human years on top of Wudan Mountain in China, and he remembers every lived second of it, which is kind of funny because for the amount of years he claims to have lived on this mountain, he spells Wudan wrong every single time he says it on the website and in the book. Now, he doesn't specify whether this is just one 5,000 year life that he lived on the mountain or if it's just like a combination of multiple lives where he gets reborn, but I like to imagine that he lived like a couple thousand toddler lifespans and he just kept getting kicked off of the mountain because he sucked so bad. But he always came back and grinded those years despite not being worthy to actually complete the spiritual journey. Anyways, the book is free if you sign up for his email list, and the artwork is a little bit questionable. Not only does Andrew not have hair, but he also is not Chinese or Asian in any capacity. Now, the absurdity of his claim to deistic status leads me to my next question.
I have very low tolerance for normal humans because I am so far above all of you.
Does Andrew Tate believe everything he says? The answer is no, of course not. He knows he didn't live for 5,000 years on the top of a mountain in China because that's a crazy thing to believe. And so much of his ideology is rooted in what he calls logic. So I don't really know who this fact is for or who it would even appeal to. But beyond the crazy Wudan China tale that he tells, do we think that Andrew Tate means everything he says? Again, I think the answer is no. I believe that he's playing into this caricature in order to stay relevant, even if the relevancy is in his own niche pocket of the internet. But we can see it again here if we want to take another look at the clip that he went viral for recently. Listen to one of the last things he says in the clip.
Yeah, the way I said it angered you, because everything I say is deliberately designed to anger you.
Here's another compilation of Tate breaking character.
I refuse to have a nerd carry the name Tate. If my son is a nerd, one of us has to die, him or me, and I'll challenge him to mortal combat.
Jesus Christ. Do you mean that? That's a bit of exaggeration, but it sounds cool, right?
It does.
Sounds
So the women can't help you. Women cannot help
That's
you.
an extreme situation. That
But
you
life's
live this.
extreme. As a man on the edge, life is extreme, my dear. Life is extreme. Yes, life is extreme.
That was no.
That was yes, don't lie to me.
You see the veneer start to crack. He was about to laugh at his own.
Oh, okay.
If you gave him enough sex at home, he's not gonna bother with that shit. Why am I gonna talk to this bitch? My bitch already sucks dick. I don't need to. If your man's cheating, it's because you ain't looking after him right. So stop the confusion, stop being baffled. I'm telling you right now why he did
See?
that.
He's not real. This guy's no gangster. He probably is married. He's probably come someone's like,
No, I'm not married, friend. I'm just funny. I mean what I say, but I'm funny. Unlike you with your shit Jamaican accent. I'm just actually funny.
This video is put together by one of the Andrew Tate fan accounts, so not only does Andrew play a character, but his audience knows it and they don't really seem to care. They love watching a stereotypically masculine guy take charge and own women. But why? Not everyone in his audience could possibly be as buff as him, as rich as him, as suave as him. So why is this really dangerous?
Resistance is futile. You will join Hustlers University. You will be assimilated. Resistance is futile.
Now, Andrew at his core is not an incel. The very nature of his essence is catering to what he thinks is the female gaze. Now, this may be a huge surprise to you, but he's wrong. He constantly sexualizes himself, molding himself into what he considers to be the perfect man. Dominant, strong, cold, unfeeling. And the worst part is, at least on a surface level, it seems like it's working. He does, in his words, get women. Now, whether these women are acquired legally, I cannot say, but I can at least say at a very bare minimum he is not an involuntarily celibate man. So how can Andrew Tate be a contributor to incel culture without actually identifying as an incel himself? Well, he continually perpetuates this idea that there is only one way to be a man.
It's a question I get a lot. What do I do if I'm not rich? What do I do if I'm not tall? What do I do if I'm not handsome? I'm uninterested. We're not females. If you come to me and say, I'm an ugly chick, what do? That's a genuine question because then you're fucked, right? But if you're an ugly man, that's not real because you can become scary. You don't need to be good looking. You can be scary as hell. You can just be a monster.
With a rumored net worth of $250 million, he has created a Kardashian-like level of unattainability that none of his audience members could possibly live up to. His followers who do not fit this mold that he lives with this luxurious lifestyle now believe that they could never be in a romantic relationship because their hero is telling them that they don't look the part. So what do? Well, they follow the advice that they can control. If they can't be hot, rich, and misogynistic, then they can at least be misogynistic, right? Now, this just creates this exploitative cycle where Andrew Tate says to his audience, you are worthless, give me your money and I'll make you rich. Give me your time and I'm gonna tell you how to achieve a human connection with someone. So they do that and they feed into it and they become a part of this community. And because of the internet and the way that algorithms work, they get trapped in this echo chamber of other creators like Tate who push the same exact narrative. And with all this content surrounding them, these people start to believe that this is truly how the world works. And some of these audience members become so radicalized that they commit violent acts against women on behalf of creators like Andrew Tate. And of course, Andrew Tate would never disapprove of this behavior because he himself has committed violent acts against women. Now, none of this is to say that the individual that becomes an incel is not responsible for their own actions, despite what Andrew Tate told them to do. I've seen plenty of Ben Shapiro's speeches and I've never once been radicalized into QAnon. I may have bought a ticket to his gun show, but that was one time. All of that to say, yes, incels that commit violent and misogynistic acts against women or other gender minorities must be held individually responsible, but someone like Andrew Tate truly enables violence and misogyny on a daily basis. Like I said, I'm sure a lot of them have fallen down a rabbit hole of incel creators, leading them to have a skewed worldview. And sure, they probably deserve what's coming to them, especially after the types of things they say and do to women. But that does not negate the fact that Tate gives harmful and exploitative financial advice in the name of self-gain. For every person out there clowning on Andrew Tate or even criticizing him in a YouTube video essay, there is someone out there to defend him. He has an audience of 600,000 people that continues to grow rapidly every single day, and he's only getting more popular. And it's really awful because through his channel, boys and young men are learning that they deserve love, and that's something that goes horribly overlooked online. I truly wish that there were more creators on the better side of the internet that really drove home this point with their fans. However, incel culture happens when men believe they are entitled to love anyone from from their choosing, and that women who don't comply are in the wrong. I've been seeing a lot of tweets showing incel pickup lines that go horribly wrong, and most of the rhetoric boils down to someone saying something misguided because someone like Andrew Tate told them that it's acceptable to talk like that. They get shut down, and then they just immediately pivot to misogynistic hate speech. And it is incredibly frustrating seeing someone who has been banned from Twitter 4 times benefiting from the maltreatment of women on a daily basis.
I will never apologize because I don't make mistakes. Everything I do is conscious. So even if I do something you don't like,
I don't know. I wish I knew. Because as people like Andrew Tate get more and more famous, incel violence rises and people are put in serious danger. Now, I think a good first step would be to ban Andrew Tate off YouTube and Spotify the same way he was banned off Twitter. Now, these can be harsh measures for a lot of people who believe that we should be having complete free speech on these social platforms. But when you have a creator who is actively selling scam courses, who is promoting violence against women, and who continually weaponizes an army of minions that will ruin people's lives and harass them because of his actions, there has to be a line. And I think Andrew Tate has crossed it multiple times and he continues to do so. But removing someone's platform only takes care of part of it, because you have his army of Hustlers University cronies that post thousands of clips of him every single day. Now, in terms of combating this behavior, I hate to say it, but it kind of falls on us to make sure that the boys and young men in our lives aren't falling down the same rabbit hole, because it doesn't matter at all whether or not Tate believes the things that he says as long as they do. Now, I'm hoping that all this exposure that he's getting as of late is helping to deplatform him in some way, but it's also possible that the YouTubers that critique him, like myself, are just giving him more attention. Now, a lot of the internet seems to be divided on how to handle Tate's platform, because it has become increasingly popular for streamers on Twitch to interview and debate Andrew. And besides a few rare cases, it doesn't seem like these conversations are completely productive towards making Tate look like a fraud to his own audience. Because Tate has such a massive audience already, I think that using our platforms to address his behavior is the correct way to hurt him. It is nearly impossible for me to platform Tate as a creator of my size, because he has already been platformed. Ignoring him isn't going to happen because of the grip that he has on sites like TikTok, where countless accounts will continue to plague your feed with controversial takes that are perfect for the TikTok algorithm just because of how divisive he is. People take to the comments to shit on Andrew Tate. One of his little minions attacks those people, and then you get this cycle of engagement that will not fail no matter what Andrew Tate says. It's not about whether or not you platform Tate, it's about how you do it. When it comes to someone who is as dangerous as Tate, we need to look at his behavior and explain in an easy way why he is a bad influence. I hope that you guys watching learn how to combat this behavior in a way that could really make a difference online. Either way, I hope that you enjoyed this deep dive into Andrew Tate. I want to thank my writer Sid for making this video possible and making it way better than I could have made it. This is the first time I've ever worked with another writer to make a video, so please let me know how you liked it. I want to continue to add more and more talented people to the Nick is Not Green team to make even better content for you, so I'm excited to be moving in that direction. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you share it with someone who you think should see it. Please like, subscribe, and hit me up for my affiliate code for Hustlers University. I hope you all have a great week. Bye. Hello, the new Nick is Not Green Happy Monday hats are out now at nickisnotgreen.com. You can pre-order them for 2 weeks and then you're never gonna get them again. They're embroidered on the front and back. They're very nice, they're very sturdy. I have a lot of pictures of them. Show them here, show the pictures, they look great. Just go to nickisnotgreen.com and you can buy your Happy Monday hat and look just as good as me. Unfortunately, I don't have the hat on right now. Not a great commercial, not the smartest thing I've ever done, but I do like the hat. I just forgot to pack it in my suitcase, but it is a good hat. It's great for the summer. It's great for the winter too, if you happen to live in a place where you can wear a hat in the winter. And it's a good gift for friends too. It's a really good gift for friends because they can wear it and you can buy it for them. So remember, nickisnotgreen.com, buy a hat. It's great. They're fully embroidered. There's a little high on the back, so if people are walking behind you, it's like a little funny thing, okay? And that's it. That's all I gotta say. Go buy the hat. It's great. Thanks for supporting me and the channel.